Hello, Internet, and welcome to Drinks with DPEG, where Tiana and I get ourselves a drink and we chat about what we've been doing for the last month.
Yes. Well, I actually I went to go get my drink, and then I had to remember that I hadn't eaten yet today.
Yeah. That could go very, very badly, very quickly.
Yes. So I'm actually having pasta and water. So, but I will be joining you shortly.
Well, how have you been? Actually, we've had a pretty crazy week for DPEG. How have you been doing, and what's been going on?
So I think that as the whole world knows or should know, that Jenna Antonucci won the Belmont Stakes on Saturday. And if you have not seen the race, then I'm obviously not doing a very good job with social media, because I think everybody has seen the replay of her watching the race herself. And so with that said, first female.
Yes.
In 155 years. So it is quite, besides being incredibly amazing and having so much gratitude being part of this journey, it is also has been a educational, just getting out there and just telling the world about her story and about the horse's story and what is a true trainer. Her just so I'm lost for words, because I feel like I haven't yet. I'll put it this way: I watched the race as a fan.
Mm-hmm.
What was that, like a whole 30 seconds?
Right.
So I was working before the race, and as soon as the horse won, I cried.
Yeah.
And I called you.
Yeah.
And then I had to get right back on the computer and go to work. So I don't think that I have fully been able to take it all in, because it's been very amazing ever since, but also very just making sure that she has an opportunity to get her messaging out, and doing amazing things for the horse racing world. So yeah,
absolutely. It was so exciting. It was so exciting to watch. I watched it live. I have friends over. We had a whole thing. We made cocktails. We made food, and the race is literally super short. And, you're watching and I'm like, okay, he's back there. He's back there. He's moving up. He's moving up. And then like right at that home stretch when he just blasted in front of all the other horses and won by a significant margin, like I was jumping up and down and screaming. And then as soon as like they showed Jenna and her reaction where she like pretty much collapses and I was doing mostly the same thing here.
Yeah.
That was amazing. It was amazing. So yes, if you have not already seen it, definitely go watch a replay. Specifically watch a replay that shows Jenna's reaction to the whole thing, because it is marvelous. Yes. And we're really glad that we get a chance to work with her on both her training business and for Horseology, which is one of our clients that she also works with. So we'll talk more about some of that later. But in the meantime, I think we want to dive into some blogs. So actually, we've got a short commercial we'd like to show first, and then we'll dive into the blogs. DPEG Marketing Company. Develop, plan, execute, and grow. We specialize in equine websites, tiny home websites, and brewery websites. Meet your new website, dpegmarketing.com. So yes, if you need a new website, obviously that's why we're here.
Yeah.
But also on our website, we have our own blog, and that's actually what we're here to talk about. So we're going to kind of go back 4 weeks, talk about the things that we've written about most recently. So these are the topics we're going to briefly talk about each one. So we started out with what's so important about logos and branding. And then our next blog post, which was May 30th, was for World MS Day. So we wanted to do, awareness and understanding of that. And then, of course, we kicked off Pride Month, June, and we wanted to write a little bit about that because it's very timely and very important, more important than ever this year. And then, of course, also very relevant, very topical is artificial intelligence and specifically how people have to create call to action for their websites. So lots of big things going on right now. So let's dive in. The first one we're talking about is logos and branding. We do web design. Obviously, some companies come to us with their logos and branding, but some companies don't have that to begin with, or they have old, outdated versions. So we kind of wanted to round up, and you can see the whole blog post on our website, dpegmarketing.com. But we kind of wanted to give a roundup of what we've done for clients, why you want to do this for clients, that sort of thing. So Tiana, what are your initial thoughts about the importance of branding and logos?
I think branding and logos are two separate widgets.
Sure.
And I think you need to have your branding very solid before you can even think about having a logo. And there are people that are business consultants that if you really are just starting off at nothing, but if you do have something tangible, starting with a website package could also help you with your finding who your target market is and who you are going to market to. Mm-hmm. And all of that can also be wrapped up into your branding. So do I think that logos are extremely important? 1000%. Because it is something that you hope that when somebody sees, they will go ahead and then associate the logo with XYZ. Mm-hmm. And I know that I do it. I mean, there are so many times that I will just say, I can't remember the company's name off the top of my head, but I can tell you their logo. I mean, and I don't know if that's because I'm more visual or maybe because this is what I do, but I mean, you could pretty much name any company and don't test me right now because I'm limited sleep, but I could almost tell you, what their logo looks like. So it is very important. But I also feel that it really needs to kind of go in a certain order. Mm-hmm. It's very hard to build a brand off of a logo. Yes, you need to have your brand and your logo should go ahead and fall into that. So,
absolutely.
Yes. Yeah,
that's a really important point. And we've talked to people before, who did start out with, I've got an idea and I made a logo. Mm-hmm. We're like, well, that's great, but that doesn't mean you're ready for a website yet.
Yes.
We need a lot more. Mm-hmm. We need a lot more. But we do
I'm sorry, Laura, or one more thing, because you just made me laugh. When we say, oh, do you have a brand guide? And they're like, oh yeah, here, let me send you my logo. And I'm like, mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not exactly what we were looking for, but okay.
Right. Yes, it's so much more. It is the logo, but it's also the colors, but it's also your tone and the way you describe your company. It's your mission statement. It's your target audience. It's what you do. It's all of those things.
Yes.
Well, and we do work with a logo designer. Actually, she's been my best friend for 28 years, but she's also a very talented logo designer. So we kind of roped her into working with us. And I just wanted to give you some examples. She's done a few logos for a few of our clients, including our logo. And Tiana, you had before I joined up with you, you had an old logo done, and it was a fine logo, but it was just time to, I think, refresh, right? And kind of give us a new vibe, a new look. Yes. So our branding hasn't changed. Our mission hasn't changed. We're just kind of updating that feeling of it. And lots of companies do that. You know, I mean, in fact, if you look at, you know, Apple or even Nike or some of these Pepsi, you know, like the Coca-Cola, like all of their logos, you can see the eras of their logos because you know, how different they are. But we've done Horsology, of course, which Jenna Antonucci and her fabulous win, she works with Horsology with us. And a real estate agent, Sheree Hughes, we just designed hers. Well, I say we, but Jill just designed hers. And a lawn company, which I really love theirs. So like everything, I love all of these, to be honest. Yes. I think they're great.
And just to, you know, just to back up what you were saying with the DPEG marketing logo, the one, it was dated, and because DPEG has been around for a bit of time now, but I really, since when the two of us got together, we are just so hyper focused on the industries that we know that we can help the best, you know, equine and tiny home breweries. And so I really wanted, for me, I think what motivated me the most was I wanted the colors to reflect the industries that we were going after. Yeah. So so it was a super fun project for us. And really you're the one that really did it. I just told you, I told you that I liked NASA's like 1970 logo, like old logo, like that. I always really liked that logo and the colors, and and then you guys came up with that.
Yeah, no, I'm immensely happy with it, and I really do think Jill does a great job. Which is to say that if you come to us for a website and you do not have a logo, you've got your business plan, you've got your overall branding, you've got your audience, you've got your voice, all of that, but you don't have a logo, that's not a roadblock for us. Yeah. We have a way to do something, and Jill's very intuitive. She really knows, and you know, like you can see in these examples, you know, these really showcase the personalities of the businesses that we work with, you know, and Horsology, we were really excited. They actually trademarked their logo. So the goal is whether you see the whole thing or you just see that horse that represents the O, is that's going to be recognizable, you know, within the thoroughbred industry, you know, maybe outside of it. So yeah, do that. Read the blog to learn more about why you do that or what you need to do from that. But we do need to move on to the next topic. Yes. So we did a post. Actually, it came out the day before, but May 30th was World MS Day. And we did a blog post about what that means, you know, and awareness in general of MS. And, you know, we just want to make sure that we are, you know, true to our vision and our mission of also doing good in this world. So we wanted to showcase something that was very important to us.
Yes. And so, I mean, if the world doesn't know, or our audience that's watching, so I do have multiple sclerosis, and so Laura is our writer, and it was, you know, we're always planning out a month in advance, and it just hit me one day. I was just like, oh boy, at the end of the month is World MS Day. And I just asked her, you know, as part of our mission for education, you know, that one of our values is, you know, to always be providing education. You know, I just asked her to go ahead and do a really nice blog post, a very educational blog post about MS. And I really felt that what she came back with was amazing. Obviously, she has lots of insight with us working together, but she also has friends. that a friend that has MS.
I have a friend who's, goodness, she's in her mid-30s and has been a struggle, man. Like they misdiagnosed her for a long time, and then I have a cousin who was diagnosed with MS many years ago. So yeah, I've always been conscious of what that means.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. And so I think that even though the blog post is very nuts and bolts, I do feel that sometimes, it's good to just kind of start people back at square one, and then they can, if they want to learn more, educate themselves more, at least that they have a base. It is interesting. We don't have enough time, but it's just interesting sometimes when you say that, oh, I have MS, they're just like, oh, so you have blank. And I'm like, it's not. So I start at square one, and I was like, they're not the same. But here's why,
Right.
And
Right.
so I think that was really important. And also what we spoke about, what I was quoted in the blog, because this is something that is so true to my heart, is that, everybody's journey, every MSer's journey is different.
Mm-hmm.
And so there really isn't a box. Like, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. So the blog does provide more. It's got the education piece, but it also provides more resources. If you want to go check out World MS Day, which of course that's a day, but it's also an organization, so they're constantly doing outreach and things like that. So don't worry that you missed it this year, because you can still find out the information that you need, and how to support people in your life and how to support research and awareness and all of that sort of stuff. So we wrote about that. But then the very 2 days later, we entered June, which is a topic that's very, very important for me, that Pride Month. And specifically this year, I really wanted to give people a call to action, because it's always been an important part of our history, but this year there have been nearly 500 anti-LGBTQ plus bills proposed throughout the United States. That's an insane amount of people who want to take rights away from other human beings.
Yes.
So it's really important that we get out there and we talk about it, and we vote, and we speak up, and we stay active, and we support organizations like the ACLU and HRC. So yeah, I can't stress it enough.
Yes. And I always go back to my father. He used to, I'm a 73 baby, and my dad, whenever my dad would get like really riled up about anything politics, he'd always be like, what's wrong with your generation? I was like, my generation. I was like, we got it together the most. I was like, okay, Dad, Pops, what is it? He's like, you guys, because I think he always associated me younger. I don't know, but he would be like, your generation doesn't know how to properly protest. And it's so, one, it's true.
Yeah.
And two, the word protest, for some reason, I don't know when this happened, but if you say the word protest, all of a sudden it's like associated with violence. And my father and my mother, when they say protesting, they're marching and Woodstock and all of that kind of protesting and music and just my mother's high school was, she was in high school when it was being integrated. So so they they were in it. And so what I hoped, my call to action is that somebody that my father really, you know, taught me how to correctly protest. You know, if there was anyone out there that was trying to protest in 2023, what does that look like? How do you, how do you gather on social media? How do you create a group? How do you get people to know about your group? How do if there was any assistance, any advice that I could give. Oop, and I just want to see I'm talking too much. That would be my thing. And you go now, because I have to figure out why my camera just stopped.
We can do that. So yes, obviously back to Pride, we want people to get as active as possible. And if you need help with your activism in any way that we can help with media marketing, please do call us. And so the third post, or the fourth, I can't count, is, I'm not a math person, I'm a words person. AI and your call to action. So obviously we've been talking a lot about artificial intelligence lately and all of that sort of stuff. And you had brought this topic to me as well, that there are changes in how we're required to create call to action statements specifically related to artificial intelligence and the use of artificial intelligence for, a lot of people are using it to create content these days.
Yes, and I swear to you, I am here. All you have to do is rewind like 30 seconds. I don't know what happened to my camera. I'm telling y'all, it's been a wonderful 4 days. But this just takes the cake. So my number one advice, and which I am actually having to do myself right now, is that Google wants your call to actions to be very clear. So all of your little CTA buttons on your websites, they need to have a clear message. So the days of, learn more or call now, click this, are no more. And now I know if you go onto our website, you're going to be like, well, Tiana, well, yes, I mean, we're doing our clients first. It's the shoemaker's son, right?
Right.
So our personal website, I promise you, Laura, it will be updated.
I trust you. I fully trust you.
But we are actually going through our clients' websites first, just to make sure that they're all up to par. But yes, so Laura can definitely talk more into how to get creative with the words. But if there is anything that you get from today, from this particular segment, is just that is no longer the standard of those need to be more clear. And Google you will get kind of nicked if you leave them as is. So
yes.
So how do we make them fun, Laura?
Well, so the most important part is to be very clear and to make it very relevant. So obviously, it has to be related to what it is you're doing. So instead of just click here or buy today, you would actually have that call to action button. The associated text would be something that is more specific to what it is you want someone to do. So not just click here, but click here to download our ebook on how to drink beer or whatever, whatever it is that you're selling. You have to make it very, very clear. Now you can play with the language. You can do something that fits your personality and your the voice of your business and your audience and all that sort of stuff. And we're really just talking, most of these call to action statements are, they were 2 to 4 words. Now they might be up to 10 words.
Yes.
So we're not talking a huge amount of changes, just something that makes it not look like a robot wrote it.
Yes.
That is the key.
Yes. And also it is, and you're actually, it is, even though it might be something that we're doing just to make the Google gods happy, but it is actually a real benefit for your base that is on your website, because I know myself personally, if I'm on a website and I do see a click now, I'm like, well, what am I clicking for? And something that I just want to say is that I don't know if everyone is a fan or not a fan, but a really good way to help with your call to action buttons, if you feel that it's looking too clunky on your website, is to start looking into pop-ups. So,
Yes.
because on a pop-up, you actually have more real estate, for lack of a better word, more space to be able to have that call to action, to have more words to it. So, instead of, sign up now, it would be, maybe your pop-up would be like, by signing up to our blog, by providing your email address, you'll receive our educational blogs in your inbox every single Monday at 7 a.m. So, I mean, that is the type of information that people are wanting to see. So if you're just like, my website isn't getting any click-throughs, well, what are you asking them to click through on? And so I think that we as a public are just getting more, well, we're smarter. And two, now with AI, we're just like, we're starting to question something that we would have maybe very easily done, a year ago.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yes, and obviously if you work with us, that's what we're here for. We're here to help you work through these ideas and these concepts and make something that really reflects your brand, your voice, showcases what you do and targets your audience. So,
and your website will always be done before ours.
That's our commitment to you. It's just, that's always the way, right? Like, like you said, the shoemaker's son.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. But we are very committed to our companies, and I don't think companies that work with us, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we have a really nice rapport with the people that we work with, and we can be friendly and we can truly understand what it is they want to do and how they want to do it in a way, because it's not just stuffy business suit meetings,
Yeah.
So anyway, that's everything that we wanted to talk about. So yeah, before we head out, obviously check out our website. But Tiana, do you have any last thoughts we want to leave people with?
Well, I mean, for our local base, I live in, my office is here in Candler, and it is storming out. Like my trees are literally bending. So, so I guess it's on its way to you, Laura.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm in basically downtown Asheville. So yeah, that's exciting. I'm supposed to go to the dog park tonight with a friend. So hopefully it goes through very quickly.
Yes.
All right. So yes, definitely always check out our website, dpegmarketing.com. If you have any questions, contact us. If you want to schedule a meeting, you can do all that right on the website. Read our blogs, send us comments. We like to hear from you. So with that being said, we'll be back in about a month or so.
Yeah.
And we'll see you then.
All right. Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.